Did you know, as tensions rise in the Middle East, especially between Iran and Israel, many countries are now shutting their doors to Iranian nationals due to nuclear threats, espionage concerns, and rising global security risks. Several governments are tightening immigration and visa policies against Iranians. In this video, we reveal the serious reasons behind this shift. So stay tuned as we uncover the top 10 countries that don't want Iranians anymore. Number 10. Sweden. Sweden was once known as one of the most refugee-friendly countries in the world. But in recent years, that image has started to shift, especially when it comes to Iranians. Since 2023, the country has imposed stricter immigration controls, with a noticeable rise in asylum rejections and visa denials for Iranian nationals. Authorities have expressed concern over alleged radical protests and political activities linked to the Iranian regime, prompting tighter background checks and even deportations. Public trust has also declined, with more Swedes becoming cautious about foreign political influence. So why is Sweden on this list? Because despite its reputation for openness, it's now one of the countries quietly pushing Iranians away. A major shift driven by national security concerns and growing public pressure.
Oh wait, before we continue, we'd love to hear from you. Do you agree with these issues? What's your opinion on this topic? Drop a comment below and tell us what you think. And don't forget to include where you're from, so we can see how far this video has reached.
Number 9. Bahrain. Bahrain has long had a tense and complicated relationship with Iran. As a close ally of Saudi Arabia and the United States, the country often finds itself on the opposite side of Iran when it comes to politics, religion, and security. For years, Bahrain has accused Iran of interfering in its internal affairs and supporting groups that aim to destabilize the Bahraini government. Because of this, Bahraini authorities have become extremely cautious toward Iranian nationals. Many Iranian visitors are denied entry visas, and those seeking work or residency are often rejected. There are even reports of tightened border screenings for travelers from Iran, especially if there's suspicion of political ties. So why is Bahrain on this list? Because for a small nation like Bahrain, any threat to national security is a serious matter. And in their view, limiting the entry of Iranians is not just about politics, it's a way to protect their country's stability and the safety of their people. Number 8. France. France has been one of the most outspoken critics of Iran in recent years, strongly condemning the country's support for militant groups and its repeated human rights violations. In both international summits and within the European Union, France has taken a firm stance against the actions of the Iranian regime. So it's no surprise that Iranian nationals now face much stricter entry policies when trying to travel to French territory. Over the past few years, French authorities have tightened background checks, imposed visa restrictions, and enhanced border controls for Iranian travelers. Reports also show that numerous Iranian visa applications have been denied, and in some cases, Iranian-linked individuals have had their assets and travel rights frozen within France. These moves are part of a broader strategy to protect national security and limit foreign interference. But why is France on this list? Because for France, the threat from Iran isn't just political or military, it's also ideological and long-term. Their strict approach toward Iranian immigration is a clear message. They will not ignore the actions of the Iranian regime, and they're willing to act to protect their nation's values and safety. Number 7. Germany. Germany has long been one of the most active European countries in imposing strict sanctions against Iran, especially targeting officials and institutions involved in the development of nuclear weapons. As a core member of the European Union, Germany takes a firm stance when it comes to global security and holding the Iranian regime accountable. Because of this, many Iranian nationals now struggle to obtain visas to enter Germany. Asylum rejections have increased, And there are also cases of deportations for individuals considered high risk. In major cities like Berlin and Hamburg, protests have erupted against the Iranian regime, often led by Iranians in exile who openly oppose their government's actions. So why is Germany on this list? Because for them, it's not just about immigration, it's about principle. Germany sees its restrictions on Iranians as part of a broader commitment to show the world that they will not tolerate aggression, deception, or human rights violations coming from Tehran. Number 6. Australia. Since 2024, Australia has become more cautious in accepting migrants from countries considered high security risks, and Iran is one of them. Under new immigration screening protocols, many Iranian nationals have faced delayed or outright denied visa applications, even for work, study, or permanent residency. Reports suggest that this stricter approach is partly driven by espionage concerns and global intelligence threats. According to some intelligence briefings, there have been suspected Iranian-linked activities within Australia, prompting the government to increase its scrutiny of applicants from Iran. So why is Australia on this list? Because in the eyes of its government, being cautious isn't enough. They want to stay ahead of the threat. By limiting entry from high-risk countries like Iran, Australia aims to protect its borders from potential infiltration and foreign interference. If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you won't miss any of our future uploads. Also, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and let us know what you think about this topic. We're all ears. Number 5. United Kingdom. The United Kingdom has been one of the most vocal critics of Iran, especially over its nuclear ambitions and human rights abuses. In recent years, the UK has imposed multiple sanctions targeting Iranian officials, organizations, and financial institutions connected to the regime. Alongside these actions, visa rejections for Iranian nationals have increased significantly, particularly for applicants linked to government institutions in Tehran. Reports also reveal a rise in deportation cases involving Iranian asylum seekers, as British authorities step up surveillance on potential espionage threats. The UK's intelligence agencies have adopted stricter vetting procedures, especially for those with political backgrounds or ties to Iranian state entities. Even Iranians already living in the UK are now facing increased scrutiny and background checks. So why is the United Kingdom on this list? Because for them, this isn't just about immigration. It's part of a broader fight to protect national security and democratic values. And when they see a threat connected to Iran, they don't hesitate to take bold action to defend their borders and their people. Number 4. Saudi Arabia. Back in 2023, many hoped that the diplomatic thaw between Iran and Saudi Arabia would stick. Yet beneath the handshakes and press releases, their relationship has remained distinctly chilly. Deep-seated religious and geopolitical rivalries, Sunni-led Riyadh versus Shia-led Tehran, continue to keep the two regional heavyweights at odds. Recent reports say Iranian pilgrims are finding it harder to secure entry approvals for Saudi Arabia, especially as tensions flare again in the wider Iran-Israel conflict. In a country that Muslims around the world consider sacred, restricting Iranian access sends a powerful signal. This is more than an immigration issue. It's a reminder that the old mistrust never truly disappeared. So why is Saudi Arabia on this list? Because despite headline-grabbing reconciliations, the kingdom is still wary of large-scale Iranian influence. Tight control over who gets in, particularly from Iran, remains a key part of Saudi Arabia's strategy to safeguard its national security and religious sovereignty. Number 3. Canada. While many Iranians have successfully settled in Canada, the immigration landscape is rapidly shifting. In recent years, the Canadian government has tightened its screening process, especially for applicants coming from high-risk countries. and Iran is one of them. Reports show an increasing number of visa rejections, particularly for individuals with political ties or unclear background histories. One major factor behind this stricter stance is the long-standing tension between Ottawa and Tehran, dating back to 2012 when Canada shut down its embassy in Iran. Diplomatic relations between the two nations remain frozen, which has led to even more cautious and selective immigration practices targeting Iranian nationals. So why is Canada on this list? Because despite having a large Iranian community, the doors are no longer as open as they once were. In today's climate, Canada favors low-risk applicants, and those from Iran now face much closer scrutiny and a growing risk of rejection. Number 2. Israel. If there's one country that has completely shut its doors to Iranians, it's Israel. With decades of deep-rooted hostility between the two nations, Israel enforces a total ban on Iranian nationals, whether as tourists, business travelers, or even diplomats. Due to nuclear threats, proxy wars, and Iran's support for militant groups, Israel considers Iran a top-tier threat to its national security. Today, there is virtually no legal way for an Iranian citizen to enter Israel. This isn't just an immigration policy, it's a strategic response to what Israel sees as an ongoing conflict involving cyber warfare, intelligence operations, and direct threats. And with the current escalation between Israel and Iran, the Israeli government has become even more firm in blocking any Iranian presence from entering its borders. So why does Israel rank so high on this list? Because among all the countries that have restricted Iranians, Israel stands out with a complete and uncompromising ban, no exceptions, no conditions. To them, Iran isn't just a rival, it's an active and immediate danger they are determined to keep out. Number 1. United States. The relationship between the United States and Iran has been deeply strained for decades, from the 1979 hostage crisis to waves of sanctions and military tensions. But in 2025, things have become even more severe. Under the current U.S. administration, immigration crackdowns targeting Iranian nationals have intensified. Iran is now high on the list of high-risk countries flagged for terrorism and nuclear threats. Reports show that thousands of Iranian visa applications are being denied, including those for students, tourists, and even work permits. This wave of rejections has grown stronger amid the escalating war between Iran and Israel, where the U.S. firmly backs Israel. In Washington's eyes, Iranians now represent a heightened national security risk, regardless of the reason behind their travel. So why is the United States at the top of this list? Because beyond strict immigration policy, America is at the center of the global confrontation with Iran. For the U.S., blocking Iranian entry is not just about protecting borders, it's part of a much broader strategy to contain Iran's influence on the world stage. Now you've seen it, more and more countries are closing their doors to Iranian nationals, and it's not just about immigration anymore. From rising geopolitical tensions to concerns over terrorism and nuclear threats, these actions are part of a much larger global security strategy. But here's the question: how far will this go? And with the ongoing conflict between Iran, Israel, and even the United States, will more countries join the list that no longer welcomes Iranians? If you want more eye-opening content like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our next bold and informative video.